All right, all right. What's going on, party people? This your man Griff. 1:17 in the morning here on this Friday. What is this here? What the heck is this? May the 12th. Do a quick video. Hopefully it's be quick. I'm gonna try to make this real quick. Real succinct, which y'all know I'm not real great at doing. Um, this week has been a wild week. I think I got maybe 17, 18 signings under my belt. I believe that's what it is. And it's weird because it seemed like it was just real quiet, and then all of a sudden, bam, orders. Then it goes quiet, then bam, some more orders. And I'm scrambling to catch some. I missed a whole lot and everything. But before I get into that and to tell y'all what happened today was wild. I had 5 signings today. The first one was crazy, and the last one was crazy. And but I got through them. The 3 in the middle, no issues. Everything was smooth. I'm trying to recollect my mind. No, I'm sorry, not the first one. The first one was fine. It was the second one. Gosh, I'm glad the second signing, and then the two after that was fine. So my very first one was cool, no issues there. The second one, that went a little haywire. The third and fourth one was cool, and then my fifth one, that one most definitely got wild. But the first one that went crazy. That one, there was some legal issues going on there. But first, I want to say thanks to everybody for tuning in. Thank you for hitting the like button, subscribing. Y'all know love your comments, and if I have not responded to a comment, like I said, hit me up. Notary help at griffinnotary.com. If you reach out, do a comment, say, and I send you an email, and I send you, I might reply back, email me, or text me, because a lot of people keep asking me questions, and then I respond back, hey, here's my email, and I never hear anything. And if you do email me, please include a phone number, because I'm not the one to sit here and type back and forth. I'm not going to be trying to provide all this help in the comment section and everything. Just give me a call. If I send you, make sure you just include your phone number. My number is simple: 757-979-5432. That's my Google Voice number. Call that or leave a text on there, and I'll get with you. But this week I've been working on a website for somebody, and tomorrow I gotta get with Q because he's helping me on my website, my Griffin Notary website. Got to do some things there, so it's just been real busy this week. Clubhouse has been great. A little off the chain for some of the comments and some of the stuff going back and forth, but go back and look at the clubhouses. Star McQueen, Super Notary Mom, is very good, very good. Good dialogue, some great information, all of that stuff. So go check that out. But today was very interesting. And for you new notaries, you really need to listen to this, because this is going to help you out. I know it's going to help you out. And might be some senior notaries too. And what makes one senior versus, I don't know. That's what people keep saying. So I don't know. I don't know if it's the number of signings you do, or the number of years, or how many courses you call yourself selling. I don't know what makes one senior versus one junior. I really don't know. I'll let the notary gurus. I'm trying to see if I have my water. And literally, that was just a squeak. Oh well. I think I'll be all right. Yeah, I'll be all right. So, real quick. And again, like I said, thanks for tuning in, subscribing, liking the video, all that good stuff. So today I had a situation where, again, the the signer is a young lady. She was in the process of selling property, and they needed her to sign in her current name and a former name. Well, in order for me to notarize, in order for you to notarize, in order for any Virginia notary to notarize the signature, you have to have satisfactory evidence. That's what the notarial statement says. That's what our handbook says. That's what the Code of Virginia says. Google Code of Virginia, you'll see the website. And the particular area for us is Code of Virginia. You can just Google COV 47.1-14, meaning subsection 1 through subsection 14, or just type in Code of Virginia 47 and you'll see it. And when you get there, it's going to outline what we're supposed to do to verify a person's identity. The young lady is 90 some years old. She did not have ID that was valid, unexpired, in her former name from more than 20 years ago. So we'll just use the name Jane Smith as her current name, formerly known as Jane Cochran. And with that, I was like, okay, if I'm going to notarize the signature of Jane Smith and Jane Cochran, I need to properly identify this individual as both. State law. It became a little bit of a tug of war because, of course, she didn't have anything because it's been so long, and she's up in age, and there was a possibility that she might not have anybody around here that could verify her ID as Jane Cochran. And these are fictitious names that I made up: Jane Smith, Jane Cochran. Might be a real Smith out there, might be a real Cochran, but for this purposes, it's just fictitious. So it seemed like it wasn't going to happen, that there was going to be an issue with getting this done. And I didn't find out till the morning because I downloaded the documents, printed them. And even if I had looked at them the night before, I would have had to contact her anyway, first thing in the morning, and all of that. So nonetheless, the order didn't say anything about her having a formerly known name. It just had Jane Smith. Nothing about Jane Cochran at all. So unless I opened the documents up and looked at them, that's when I would have found out, and that's exactly what happened. So I contacted the title company or the signing company and let them know, and there was immediately some pushback, like, okay, let me get my manager, from one person. And I could tell in his tone, he was very short with me, like, you don't know what you're talking about, notary. And I could tell it's like, okay, we just need to get you off this order. And I'm like, okay, that's on y'all. So I get to the manager, and in between, I send them the Code of Virginia, the section that they need to look at. And they only really read the first part of it, where it says a notary has to take due diligence or put forth due diligence to verify that person's identity. Well, the notarial statement also says that you have to have satisfactory evidence. Well, what is satisfactory evidence? Driver's license, state ID, passport, and about 6 or 7 other little things. If the individual doesn't have that in the name of the signature that you're notarizing, you can't verify that person, and therefore you can't notarize that signature. It will be illegal. Well, here's something that I was told, and it totally caught me off guard. They said, well, we, the title company, did our due diligence. Title did the due diligence, and we verified that she is Jane Smith and used to be Jane Cochran. The problem is, and they wanted me to accept that they've done this, because they did this, I should just go with it. Well, here's the issue. You did that, I didn't. And I had no idea that you did it until I said something. So where was the proof that you had done that in these documents? And there was no proof in the documents whatsoever that said, we have verified this person's ID. But the issue is, I'm still required, because I took an oath, to follow the Constitution of the state of Virginia. And if that's the case, then I have to do this irregardless whether they did. Because see, here's the thing. Due to the fact that there was a lack of communication, and this goes back to what we talked about in Clubhouse, there was a lack of communication from the title company to me, saying that this is what we did to verify this person's identity, or that there is an FKA. They're going to be signing in 2 different names. So what are the requirements for you, Mr. Notary, or Miss Notary, if there's a lady doing it? None of that was discussed. So now you want me to take your word on something that I didn't even know exists. And the only reason why we're having this discussion is because I brought it up. So had I not brought it up, you would have never told me that you did this due diligence. And the due diligence you did was looked at her marriage certificate. That might be sufficient for title, but it's not sufficient for me as the notary because it does not fall within the guidelines of my state. So that's just my battery pack down there, y'all. Hold on, let me turn this. I'll turn that thing off. So I was like, I can't just take that and run with it, period. And it was like, but we did the due diligence and other notaries accepted. And this is the problem. Virginia notaries, y'all are taking shortcuts and you're accepting that somebody else did this or because somebody else told you. And there's nothing in our state handbook for notaries or the law in the Code of Virginia that says we're supposed to take somebody else's word. You contact the NNA or the American Society of Notaries, and they will tell you the same. You have to have proper ID. And this is causing a problem because then when they come across me or any other notary who's putting forth every effort to do things correctly, that lender, that title company, that signing company will then say nobody else does it because they went and called some other notary and that notary told them basically I was wrong in doing this. And I'm like, which I'm pretty sure they probably told them my name. And if you're out there and you know who I am, me and you need to have a conversation, not from a mean standpoint, but you need to help me understand why you think I didn't need to have proper ID for that person. Show me in the law where I don't have to have it. Because they were like, well, you need to do due diligence. Okay, what define due diligence? Due diligence is making sure that I verified them either by personally knowing them, state law says that, proper ID, state law says that, or credible witness, state law says that. You don't have either one of those, then I can't do the notarization of your signature in whatever name you're going to be signing in. That's law. And this is where the problem rises up at. Because we're there to do what? Prevent fraud. I know nothing about this transaction until I get the documents and I get there with them. I don't know anything. And I have to make sure that you are who you say you are. And you say, well, why is she signing in two different names? Because if she purchased the property or her name was put on the deed as Jane Cochran, now she's married as Jane Smith. And when they go to have her sell or refinance that property, she has to sign this person formerly known as that person or this person also known as that person. And in the notarial statement, it says on the foregoing instrument was acknowledged before me, my name, a notary public for the state of Virginia, by this person, FKA, that person, and has proven satisfactorily and by satisfactory evidence. So once it says that in that notarial statement, that means they provided me evidence that this person is also known as that person. And even if it doesn't say that, I still have to have that as a Virginia notary, that you and you, these two names, have been proven to me with the proper ID. So there's no way, shape, or form, as far as I know, and I've never been told out of the 4 times that I've contacted the NNA, and I've basically had contacted the NNA at least once a year on this subject, that I am supposed to just accept the word of somebody else. That doesn't work. It doesn't work that way. I can't take a marriage certificate or a birth certificate or a social security card as primary identification for that person. And it says that in our handbook, in our Code of Virginia, it says that we cannot. So if that's all you have, I can't use that as a primary form of ID. It says in some cases I can use it as a secondary form, even a credit card, it says in there. So the title company may, sorry about that, y'all, may blacklist me. And I'm like, okay, it is what it is. But I got to do things right, because some lenders will do compliance checks to see if everything was done correctly, or they may be required to do compliance checks. And they may see that, okay, this person signed in 2 different names. Hey, notary, do you have evidence that that person signed as that person. What did you use? What, and if they know state law, my state law, they say, which method of identifying did you use to verify them in both of these names? And it will be in my handbook. And if it's not, I mean, not in my handbook, in my notary log, and I may not need to show them the law, but I need at least to be able to tell them, because if they bring suit, or if the customer complains and says they felt they was done wrong by somebody in this transaction and issues a lawsuit, I get called in the court to say, hey, did you properly identify this person as this, FKA that? Where's the proof? I can lie and say, yeah, I did, but where's the proof in my logbook? There is none. You got that person signing. So the way we did it was we got the credible witnesses. So she signed as Jane Smith and Jane Cochran. And then in there, the Integrity Journal allows you to say this person's ID was verified by credible witness. And then I put the two credible witnesses in the logbook, swore them in, asked some questions concerning their knowledge of this person, Jane Smith, as Jane Cochran, and we proceeded, and everything was done. That's the way it's supposed to be done. It's an extra hoop, but this is the way it's supposed to be done. But you have lazy people out here who have the title of notaries, and I know people don't like that type of talk coming out of anybody's mouth, but this is just the truth of the matter. And they are just taking shortcuts. And all it takes is for one person to say, you did me wrong, title company, settlement company, escrow, lender, notary, and then they do an investigation, they pull you into court, and they look and they see that you did not properly identify that person for the name you notarized, and you cannot, talking about, well, my E&O will protect me, you cannot take their word, somebody else's word, that, oh, we verified them. Well, when were you going to tell me? And even if you did tell me, I can't take your word for it. I have to see for myself. I mean, we can't take somebody's, here's a picture of my ID. So if I can't can't use the picture of an ID, I have to actually see it and touch it. Then how can I just take your word that, oh yeah, we verified, and you show me no proof? And even if you showed me proof, then that proof needs to be given to me by the signer so that I can verify it for myself correctly the way it's supposed to be done. And oh, my daggone shirt out inside out. I just noticed that, y'all. I didn't have to say that, but I'm serious. It just, I'm like, oh man, my shirt inside out. Oh well. Sure enough, daggone it. It is what it is. But this is why it's important for you to know your law. You can get all deep into marketing and this, that, and the other, but when it comes time for you to know your notary law and stand on it, you got to be able to do that. Even with the threat of you being told you might get blacklisted, which they didn't say that, but it felt that way. Now here's what they did. I know I've been going on this a little bit long here, because this is a big deal. So personally, I believe they wanted me off the order, because if I'm right about what I'm saying, that gives them no excuse the next go round. That means they've been doing it wrong the whole time if what I'm saying is correct. So there was no justified reason to take me off the order, because I'm operating within the confines of my state law. So what they decided to do, or tried to do, in my opinion, was to get me to quit by saying, if you don't feel comfortable, we'll get someone else. I said, when did I talk to you about not being comfortable? I said, I already told you that. I already talked to the young lady. We got things squared. She's going to get credible witnesses. As a matter of fact, she has them. So we good. I was just sharing this with y'all so y'all can, because it seemed at one point that she wasn't. So I had to let y'all know. There's no need for me to give y'all any surprises. Well, if you don't feel comfortable, and she kept saying that over and over and over again, I'm like, and I started to say, I know you're trying to get me to quit, but I'm not. And I've told people this in the past. I said, if you don't want me on the order, then you can take me off. But I have no reason not to do the order. I didn't call you to quit. I said, I've been putting forth every effort to make it happen. So why would you think that I'm trying to quit on the order just because I got to do my due diligence? See, and this is a weird part because it's saying, well, you need to do your state law says you have to do your due diligence. Okay, well, I'm in the process of doing my due diligence, but now you're telling me, you basically saying I should quit because if I don't feel comfortable, I need to just stop. And I'm like, I never said I felt uncomfortable. The only time I'm going to feel uncomfortable about doing anything as a notary is if I'm doing something that I shouldn't be doing in the first place. So if I know I'm not supposed to do something and I'm doing it, yes, I'm going to feel uncomfortable because I have the knowledge and I know that I'm not supposed to do that. But if I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, how can I be uncomfortable in executing what I'm supposed to do? The question is, do you feel uncomfortable now that you know that there's a possibility that you have been having notaries do notarizations incorrectly because they haven't been following their state guidelines? That's the question. So going forward, are you going to feel comfortable knowing that you've been doing it wrong? It's not about me being uncomfortable because I'm not going to do anything that I shouldn't be doing knowingly. And once I find out, I will correct it if I'm unknowingly doing something. But if you know that you ain't supposed to be doing it and you do it anyway, that's on you. That's not on the notary. And that's on the other notaries who are signing off on this here by just stamping and not doing the state law of verifying the ID in the names of that they're notarizing. That's what this boils down to. So I got it done, did all of that. Everything went fine. And I went on about my business. Now, real quick, the last one, the person wanted to back out the deal. There was some legal stuff going on. And I got there. I was there for over 2 hours, 2.5 hours. I even left and came back because they needed some privacy to talk things over. And the signer, she was 90 some years old, just like the other lady, and was upset with me and was trying to get me to go outside of the restrictions that I have as a notary of sharing things legally. And I was like, I can't. I said, I can't answer those questions because I don't even know the answers myself. And she was upset with me. But the best word I can use is, well, she felt I wasn't professional, but I remained professional in making sure that I didn't overstep my bounds and saying something that I wasn't allowed to say. And at the end, we got it done. She was mad at me at first, told me I was unprofessional, told me I didn't know, basically was like, you're mean, this, that, and the other. And I understood she wanted somebody to cater to what she wanted. And she was looking for some answers. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to give them to her. I believe she thought or was hoping that I would be a representative of that company, but I could not really represent them when I didn't know the true deal of what was going on. Just I was getting tired. That's why I'm scratching. So I could not cross that line of sharing something with her, one that I didn't even know. And even if I did know, I was not in a position to do it. So at the end, we got it all done. And I felt bad. I really felt bad. And I knew she was disappointed. She was upset with me. My feelings was hurt. But I had to stand my ground and do what was right. And today was trying from the standpoint of I really had to make sure that I did what my state law says. Even though by me doing it, it really made everybody else around me feel uncomfortable. It made everybody else doubt me, call me names, and all of that. And yeah, my feelings was hurt from the signing company today. I was hurt by them basically like, you need to quit. Now they may say, well, no, that's what we never said that, but you said at least 5 or 6 times, if you feel uncomfortable, we'll get somebody else. Well, if you think that I'm wrong in what I'm doing, then just take me off. They didn't do that. They didn't do that. Because if I was wrong, if I was really wrong, then why not just take me off and get somebody else in there to just do it the way y'all been doing it. You couldn't because you had no legal grounds, you know. And for the other lady, for her this evening, to basically say I was mean, I wasn't professional, all of that, because I wouldn't acquiesce to what she wanted, that hurt. And I dealt with it. I didn't cry, nothing like that. And I ain't about to cry now. But I was like, man, because I love this job and I love what I'm doing, this business, but I knew I had to stand my ground. I knew I had to do things right. And even if it cost me money, even if it cost me, them blacklisting me or whatever, I'll take it. I'll take it. Because there's other people out there who will respect me doing my job the right way. And that's what I'm standing on. Period. Whether anybody agrees with it or not, that's what I'm going to do to the best of my ability. So I just wanted to share that with y'all. I'm going to upload this and go to bed. All right. Feel free to give me your thoughts, comments down in the below. If you need any help, notary help at griffinnotary.com. I'll do everything I can to help you out. Members, we got meetings this weekend. Well, Friday today, the 12th and the 13th. Look on the community tab and you'll see it on there. I meant to say that in the beginning, forgot. All right. Talk to y'all later. Peace.